matters relating to the procurement of the said maize from Zambia. Our objectives, Mr. Speaker, sir, did not extend to arresting anyone. In fact, we did not have the powers to do so. Contrary to conclusions by the so-called analysts, we did not set out to crucify or vindicate any person. If our report ends up implicating some people, which of course it does, then the implications are a result of perceived wrongdoing as backed by our findings, and not necessarily inherent desire to name and share. From the onset, let me inform the nation that the committee found that the procurement of maize from Zambia by ADMAT was attended by serious malpractices and violations of both the public procurement and public finance management laws. Mr. Speaker, sir, the House, and indeed the whole nation, is aware of the fact that there was a lot of conflicting information from the officials we summoned and queried. Malawian officials contradicted one another. Malawian testimonies contradicted Zambian submissions. Zambian officials contradicted one another as well. But the epic of it all was that some officials, including Honorable Minister of Agriculture himself, contradicted themselves. Furthermore, the committee established that some officials lied under oath and that had accordingly perjured themselves. Your committee, Mr. Speaker, sir, did not take these contradictions, lies, and discrepancies as a mere lapses in memory or mere result of breaks in communication. No. These were deliberate attempts to mislead the committee with intentions to cover a syndicate aimed at swindling poor Malawians, and therefore this amount to acts of fraud and gross misconduct. In his submission, Dr. Japonda insinuated that the committee, and by extension all interested parties, should pardon any irregularities in the procurement of maize from Zambia because the House was burning at the material time, and therefore to rescue this child in need. Breaking doors and windows wouldn't be wrong. Your committee, Mr. Speaker, sir, decided to reject this submission as having no sound basis in law, much as it was coming from a person with qualifications in law. The committee noted that the laws of Malawi, especially the Public Procurement Act and the Public Procurement Regulations, have made provisions for public procurement during times of national crisis. Parliament, as an institution trusted with the responsibility to enact these laws, should be taken to have duly considered these provisions and found them adequate and fit for their purpose. The committee therefore firmly rejects any suggestions that the national crisis justify a violation of laws and set down procedures. Your committee, Mr. Speaker, sir, recommends that the State President, His Excellency Professor Arthur Peter Mutharika, should publicly censure the Minister of Agriculture and Irrigation, Honorable Dr. George Chaponda, MP, for flagrantly abusing his powers to arrange for Transgroup supply maize to ADMAT in violation of the country's public procurement laws. This censure will affirm the government's commitment to the rule of law and its zero tolerance for corruption. In the same vein, the committee recommends that the law enforcement agencies, namely the Malawi Police Service and Anti-Corruption Bureau, should investigate the conduct of the Honorable Minister with a view to finding out if his conduct did not amount to a misuse of public office, and if found guilty, should be accordingly be taken to court. The committee that found and concluded that if ADMAT had conducted a proper due diligence exercise, it probably would have come to the conclusion that there was no need to venture outside the country in search for maize. The House was not really notified. Maybe that was a prophecy for an office. Our committee had three objectives. Number one, to establish whether public procurement laws and procedures were complied with during the procurement of maize. Number two, to establish whether any fraudulent activities had taken place in the procurement of the maize. And number three, to bring to book all individuals and institutions involved in malpractices or fraudulent activities during the procurement of the said maize. Your committee, Mr. Speaker, sir, established that there had been a flagrant violation of public procurement laws and procedures during the procurement of the maize from Zambia. The committee observed that the public procurement laws has the singular cardinal objective of ensuring that public funds are protected from abuse and that Malawians get good value for their money. The law does not depart from this objective, even when public procurement is required to meet a national crisis. The committee found that in respect of the procurement of maize from the Republic of Zambia, Malawians do not get a good value for their money. Firstly, there was no legal basis for the adoption of the single source procurement method in respect of the purchase of maize from Zambia. Secondly, ADMAC did not demonstrate prudence before it entered into contracts with Carlos Limited and ZCF by failing to conduct a thorough due diligence exercise. This would have ensured that ADMAC satisfied itself of the capacity of both Carlos Limited and ZCF to deliver on the contracts and of the fairness of the price that it paid for the maize. Thirdly, the role of the Minister of Agriculture in influencing procurement decisions risks of selfishness and extreme desire to enrich oneself from an intervention meant to feed the nation. Mr. Speaker, sir, it is the nature of all states to face crises from time to time. However, the ability of a state to meet those crises without breaking the law is the true measure of the maturity of a polity. The food deficit that the country faced in 2016, regardless of its true measure, was no excuse for a refusal to scrupulously comply with Public Procurement Act as well as public finance management laws. In case some people are too stunted, as feared by our colleagues in the Nutrition Committee, to the extent of not knowing what wastage of time and resources looks like, allow me to school them as follows. To waste time and resources is to involve two middlemen in a deal that will be financed by a loan. To waste time and resources is to deliberately forge documents, backdating and signing contracts before approvals are granted, all with the aim of swindling poor Malawians. To waste time and resources is to go about committing to a deal whose funds have not been granted yet. To waste time and resources is to run two valid contracts with separate companies, thereby exposing the country to grave financial consequences. To waste time and resources is to assume the roles of the Minister of Agriculture, ADMAC CEO, OTPP, middleman, approving officer, all in a bid to get from the program aimed at feeding the nation. To waste time and resources is to flout the laws of the country under the pretense of rescuing a child burning inside a house, which is not even burning at all. To waste time and resources is to keep on defending people who are obviously wrong. To waste time and resources is to conclude that inquiries are a waste of time and resources before you even hear what their findings are.